gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here in front of the camera. Um, Gonna show you a couple little things I picked up last weekend, not this weekend, and something I got yesterday. But I went out last weekend. They were having some sales at Vintage Stock and stuff, buy two get one, but their costs are so high. Buying two and getting one is as cheap as going to a pawn shop or anywhere else and just getting normal stuff. So I decided to bypass going to the vintage stock sales and just hit up a couple pawn shops. I went to a new pawn shop that I hadn't been to called Alpha Pawn, which they had some stuff, but it was a lot. It looked like the stuff was a lot cleaner than maybe at Cash America, but at the same time they didn't quite have that as much of it. They had about half of what maybe Cash America would. So anyway, I went to the Cash America first and looked around. They had a couple. They had some PS4 games that I was interested in. They had Dark Souls 2, like a complete edition or something. But I didn't know if that meant that all the DLC or whatever this complete crap was on the disc or whether it was a download code. And there was no little papers or anything inside that showed any kind of download code, so there was no way for me to like verify that it was a download code there. And they didn't have a price on it, and I assumed they wanted probably $20 anyway for it. So I kind of just decided to wait and check on it later on, and I still haven't, to be honest, because I kind of forgot about it. They had a Witcher 3, they had a few other games that I was looking at for the PS4, but nothing seemed like a value or anything that I really wanted. So I was looking at the PS3 games. I think I said PS4 a second ago. If I didn't, I'm sorry. And so I started looking at the PS3 games, and they're of course way marked down because it's last gen. But they still have quite a few of them, you know, and I was looking through them and didn't see anything jump out at me right at the moment, so I went back and looked at their Blu-rays, and I found a Blu-ray that I wanted to get that I didn't have, and it didn't have a price on it either, but I was like, it said their Blu-rays were like $5 and under unless they were sets, you know, like a season or a series or something. So I grabbed it, and I went back up front and looked at the PS3 games one more time, and as I was looking through there, I saw a title that I do have for the 360, and I talked about it before, but I didn't have it for the PS3, and it's a quality title, and they only wanted $3 for it, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I'll go ahead and show those two things now. I think I paid close to $7 for both of them with tax and stuff. But anyway, the Blu-ray I picked up, and we talked about this franchise, you know, to death in a couple of videos recently, and I know a lot of people don't dig it. Some people do dig it. I dig the over-the-top kind of cheesiness of some of them. A couple of them I didn't really dig that much, but the first, second, and fifth one I thought were really, really good. And I did buy the DVD for the sixth one, but I just haven't watched it yet. But I went ahead because it was $3, and I picked up Resident Evil Apocalypse. And like I said, I know a lot of people either hate it or love it. Yeah, some people are middle of the road, but it seems like most of the people I talk to are like, I just couldn't get into it or whatever. I don't know. For some reason, it just caught me at the right time. I went and saw the first one at the theater, the second one at the theater. And then, to be honest, after the second one, I didn't really even follow it that close. And I didn't know they had made any more of them after the second one until, like, I was going into Vintage Stock and they had a poster in the window for the third one being on DVD or whatever. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know they made a third one. And then I looked, and I think by that point they had made the third one and the fourth one. So, anyway, I think I'd showed the inside of this. It had some paper, like a cardboard thing with this, but it had gotten wet, so it had stuck to the front of the DVD and stuck to the plastic and peeled off. So I cleaned it up, but it was $3, and it works fine. It's not scratched or anything. And then the game, I talked about this on the 360, and it's a quality game, and if you can find it for you know, $3 to $10, I recommend it. And that is the game. And this sucker looks almost brand new, considering that it was at the pawn shop. And theirs are usually a little bit worked looking. But I picked up Singularity for the PS3. And yes, I played through this and beat it on the 360. You have this time mechanic. I think it's like a gauntlet, but you can rewind and fast forward time, so you can take stuff that's degraded and rebuild it, like if a bridge had fallen through, and you can rebuild it so you can go across it, and then you can turn around and degrade it and make it so nobody can follow you from, you know, the other side or whatever. So it's pretty cool. The enemies kind of look like they're, you know, possessed by, you know, guys that have been taken over by, you know, something. Zombie looking, you know, the normal monster fare, but I think it had something to do with your guy goes to this island that was like a hidden Russian facility, and you find this tech, and I don't remember the whole story, but I do remember the time rewinder, and you can upgrade it and do different things, but if you shoot it at guys, it'll cause them to, like, degrade to skeletons, and then, you know, just it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome for $3. I think I showed the inside now 2 or 3 times. So anyway, $3. I was like, oh man, I'll play through that again on the PS3 and get some trophies and stuff on my PS3 for it. And so we went over to Alpha Pawn. I hadn't been to Alpha Pawn, but I saw a commercial on TV for it. And they're like, oh, there's one in Independence and Kansas City and one other place. And when I saw that it said Independence, I knew where it was, but I'd never been in there. Because they sell firearms and stuff in there, too. And a lot of times those places don't have a lot of electronics. But they had, on the commercial on TV, said, we have, you know, 360, PS3, PS4, you know, that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, well, we'll go check it out. And I go in there and I'm looking around, and they really just had about one shelf about yay long with the games on them. And they mainly had PS4 and Xbox One games. They did have another little area or a little shelf kind of closer to the register that had some older consoles, being PS3, 360, and I think they even had a couple PS2 games over there. So I was looking at the games, and I decided to pick this one up. I think it was $10. And so I went ahead and picked up, and I owned the first 3 on the PS3. I made it into the first one a little ways, but I never beat it. Imagine that. And so I decided to go ahead and pick this up anyway. It looks like it was a pack-in with like a bundle pack. So anyway, I picked up Uncharted 4. And for $10, I was like, Uncharted it's a quality series. There's no reason for me not to pick it up for $10. So I, you know, all in all, last weekend I spent about under $20 for those things. I think I picked up a couple random DVDs as well at Alpha Pawn that were like $1. I picked up Man of Steel on DVD. It was like a limited edition two disc set thing. And I also picked up that latest Blair Witch movie that they made a year or so ago, because I haven't seen it and I figured I'd watch it for $1. So that was my last weekend, and then this weekend I haven't forayed out into the wild yet, but I'm thinking about it. Tomorrow I have a birthday party to attend for my niece, who's going to be 10 years old. And I haven't seen my sister since Christmas, so I'm kind of excited to go over and see everybody. I'm still a little bit down on myself about my weight and stuff, but, you know, what can I do? You know, I try to snap out of it or whatever, but I don't know. I've just been kind of in a weird funk because different stuff's going on. Nothing major, nothing that you all need to or be concerned with at all. Just a little shaken up at work, maybe. They're thinking about, you know, maybe having me work that overtime I talked about and cutting back somebody else, or maybe cutting them altogether. you know, so anyway, that it's just it would mean I would have less time in the evenings and stuff to play games or do anything, but it would be nice to have that bump. I mean, it'd almost be like getting a pretty good raise, but then I'm adding, you know, $10 or 10 hours to my work schedule a week for the foreseeable future. So, you know, I mean, it's just that kind of stuff. I don't deal with stress really well either, and that's when I start eating. That's how I deal with stress or depression or happiness or anything. I eat fucking food that's bad for me. I haven't been eating sugar, but I've just been eating junk, you know, and because of that, I'm not losing weight because I'm not sticking to the low carb, and I'm not watching how many carbs I'm eating as closely, and so I'm just like maintaining a weight instead of losing, which I need to. I know we weren't going to talk about that, but I had to go to Toys R Us to get her a little gift. I'm going to give her a card with some money in it and stuff because she's 10 years old, but I asked my sister if she wanted some little, and she did, so I went over to the Toys R Us. Of course, I can't go in there without looking for myself for things. I almost bought a PS4 game for $20 called Until Dawn. I didn't buy it because I have so many other games, and it seems like all I'm doing is playing XCOM 2, and I know you saw the video I posted. I'm getting close to the meeting, I'm to the final third of the game, to where, you know, once I beat it, I might be able to shelve it for a while and maybe delve into Fallout 4 or back into Mass Effect Andromeda. But I go over and I look at the pop figures and stuff. I'm really trying to cut back on buying these because I'm running out of room for them. But it seems like lately the only ones I've been trying to pick up are video game related, and that's why I bought the Portal ones, and you know, I have a Lara Croft one, and I have Sweet Tooth, you know, that Crash Bandicoot, and this was another Toys R Us exclusive one, and so I went in and picked it up. It's Sonic the Hedgehog with the ring, not the emerald, and it glows in the dark, and it does glow in the dark, but you got to put it in front of the light for quite a while to get it to glow. Most of the pops are that way, though. If they glow in the dark, you really got to stick them in front of the camera. And there's some other, there looks like there's 6 total in the series on the back, and I might be interested in getting the Supersonic one, but the rest of them I'm not really that concerned with. Because like I said, I really need to be a little more choosy, but this one was an only 4, and I actually didn't even know they were making Sonic the Hedgehog, and so when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they only had they had 2 of these, actually, and both the boxes were in good shape, but that was it, and they had like a ton of those Crash Bandicoots, but they only had 2 of these Sonics, so I went in and picked up old Sonic. So that's pretty much the stuff I picked up last weekend. And then yesterday was the day I went into Toys R Us. And I still think I might pick up Until Dawn. I need to revisit that Outlast game as well. I haven't played it since we did our little gameplay. I'm really working on the volume of the commentary when I do the videos there. That one was really horrible. I adjusted it a little bit better on the XCOM, but I actually I have a Turtle Beach headset, but it's really not meant for the it's the PS4. I bought let's put it this way, I bought a new headset with a mic that should be a lot better than using the little microphone thing that came with the PS4, so, because that's what I've been using. So hopefully we can work that out. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye.